is the guys thought this might be interesting, but anyway, the Who smashed their equipment, and when paid extra money, we had particular set of drums and a smash guitar that we'd picked that was a copy of the brand names, and then we would smash. So this is a compilation of smashing called Simply Smashing, a Who story of the Hooligans. So you take this with a grain of salt, but you know, this was part of our show. And the Who did this. It was called Auto Destruction. It was considered an art form back in the 60s. I think it was to Pete Townsend, but to Keith Moon, it was just an excuse to get involved in the chaos and trash his drum kit. So I had to do this, and I wouldn't say that it wasn't always fun. I hurt myself a few times. Anyway, here you go. This is what you guys want in the crew. This is what you get. Some viewers may be offended, it says here. Okay. Here's a good... Dave never smashed. Just whoever's on guitar, in this case, Chris Bacon. And by the way, you know, a solid body Les Paul is very hard to break. You'd be surprised. You'd think, oh, there we go. There goes the neck. There goes the drums. Yeah. Look out. Oh! Guess everybody was out of the road. Occasionally, the odd accident happened. For all kinds of people. Okay, well, that was at the Astoria in the 2003 Who convention in London. And it's not as bad as it looks. I know that's, you know, but what do we got next here? This is in Traverse City. Tom Wright, a photographer friend of mine who recently deceased, passed away. Beautiful man. Renaissance artist. Let me stop for a second. Photographer, original friend of Pete Townsend at art school in London. But Tom Wright, for all of his skills as a photographer, I mean, the James Gang Rides Again, that's his photograph. He road managed The Who. He road managed The Faces with Rod Stewart and Ron Wood. The thing is about Tom, he was down to earth. He would just talk to you about anything. So the irony being is that I ran into him when I was in the Who Tribute Band because we did this for him. And the problem was that Tom just wanted to talk about my recycling exploits. And it was like, look, I want to talk about drums, but we're talking about garbage. He gave me a good movie called Garbage Warrior. Watch that. It's interesting because he says once you do something unusual and it gets regulated, you can't experiment and discover anything. He was so insightful. I could see why he was an influence on Pete Townsend. So Tom got caught in England for having marijuana and got booted. He then went to France, where he did postcards and hung out, I think, with Salvador Dali. And then he went to Ibiza, Florida, road managed The Who. Tom Wright, photographer, just a beautiful man. At this stage of my career, I was a bit, disillusioned. He always had positive things to say. You know, in his mind, I wasn't over. Mind you, he's more interested in what I did in the background to keep myself financially afloat and doing artistic things, which was my uncle, the garbage can, which or the bin or the castaway electronics, whatever way you want to look at it. So we went and played this show, and this was for Tom. That we came out from behind a curtain, played some Who numbers, and smashed our equipment, which was a surprise for him. But he turned out to be such a great and genuine soul. I miss him. He passed away this year past, 2022, Tom Wright. And when he was done, he never tried to monetize his exploits because he was quite a sage for so many people in the rock and roll industry. Apparently, Joe Walsh, Pete Townsend, a number of people, apparently, I think he said even Rod Stewart, know how to develop film because he was ahead of his time, Tom was. He would take pictures and get the artist to come back to the hotel room and they'd line the cupboards or the drawers and they'd develop the photographs together so they could look at themselves and study their what they looked like on stage. And they were so into their art. I mean, it would have been a great time to be involved in music. People were so genuine, and Tom stayed genuine to the end. So I was talking about unboxing my life with the Hooligans, but really, maybe I'm unboxing my life with this man, Tom Wright. What a beautiful soul he was. So because of a few kind words, I got back on the horse and kept going. Because sometimes it gets tiring. It looks like it's never going to end and you're never going to break through. Tom always had beautiful words of wisdom and support. Tom, I love you. So here we are at Traverse City at the Deno Museum for his art exhibit. What a great guy he was. And I wanted to say again, he never monetized. He donated all of his photographs to a museum in Texas. He could have been much richer man monetarily, but he was ultimately one of the richest men I ever knew from the point of view of karma and soul. I love you, Tom. Thus, I named my son Thomas. I never met a Tom that I didn't like. They were all great. We're gonna do some smashing and trashing again. We called this drum kit there for pieces because they didn't have a drum kit for me. The plan of showing you don't have a drum kit? Not one we could smash anyway. Oh boy. We're pulling the mics off, that's another thing. Smashing the kit's one thing, but smashing the mics is another, so they had to pull them off. I'm waiting. Chris is doing his thing with the guitar. Come on, Chris, break that guitar. Still not even broken. Oh, good God. You can hurt yourself doing this. There's the neck. There we go. So I think the cue, I can do what I want now. So I don't know who gives me the cue to sit to the side. Okay, I noticed that Cedric. Here we go. Part of the show. Come on, now smash. Get on with it there. Now Dave is playing here. Drop the stick so I can grab another stick and finish smashing. Let's get to the smashing. Another guitar down the drain. Hurt myself, I think, on that one. Let's get to another smash.
1 second. What was that out there?
Wasn't me.
It was fantastic, is what it was. It was energetic. You gonna do it again?
Yes. It's gonna happen again.
Oh, here's probably one of the craziest smashes, and that's right here in Toronto. Okay. We're at the Naval Club on Hayden Street. This one's serious, because I was actually mad. No one's laughing at it. That's Mike Legault, Bones on guitar, yet another guitar player. I gotta be honest, I can't remember what went wrong, but yeah, this was serious. Oh boy, I can't remember what made me mad. I took care of a lot of the logistics for the bands, and if you know what it's like, I don't know if it had to do with money or whatever, but after 20 or 30 years, something happens, either you get ripped off or someone tries to start a fight or whatever, you can really snap. Oh, another smash hit. Newcastle, England. Last one. I know we can see this. Dave's on bass here. The other guys will get out of the road finally. Well, what can I say? Who fans like it? To some people, it's sacrilegious. Looks worse than it is. We kind of let the gear down easy. I hope you enjoy. If you like what you've seen, like, subscribe, hit the bell, ask some questions, please comment.